our region really could be a proving ground on how to achieve net zero. And I think we're poised to lead on decarbonization.
That's Eileen V. Quigley, founder and executive director of the Clean Energy Transition Institute. Her organization recently released a new analysis of how the Pacific Northwest could lead the way as the world looks to transition away from fossil fuels. She said one thing that sets us apart from the rest of the nation, we already get a sizable chunk of our energy from renewable sources like wind, solar, and hydropower.
And so we have to focus on the harder to decarbonize sectors sooner. And we have to focus on transportation and buildings in terms of the sectoral emissions.
That means developing clean fuels, like hydrogen, to use in parts of the economy that are hard to electrify, things like boats, planes, and heavy industry.
Those are all strategies that every state and country that's working on decarbonization is going to need, but we just need them sooner.
Now, Quigley envisions a future where resources are shared across the West, with solar coming from the Southwest, wind power coming from Montana and Wyoming, and hydropower coming from our region.
These would all be on the grid at various times during the day, during the year. They'd be supporting a wide range of technologies that would be providing clean electricity or making fuels to power a much broader set of uses than what we currently use today.
There are, of course, big challenges to overcome. New transmission lines, which currently take decades to get approved and frequently face opposition, will be needed across vast areas of the West. Developers and regulators will need to walk a fine line, speeding up that process while still listening and responding to the concerns of residents.
So rural, coastal, tribal community members need to be at the table to make the decisions about what will work for them when it comes to renewable energy development and transmission expansion.
A full transition to net zero will also come with a massive jump in demand for electricity. Quigley's analysis found that the need for electric power will more than double by 2050. But overall demand for energy, that will actually fall by roughly 30%.
And that's because electricity is inherently much more efficient than fossil fuels.
Despite the challenges, Quigley said there is a path forward. And the Pacific Northwest, we're well positioned to lead the way.
I see so much activity in so many different quarters, all pointing in the right direction, and the economic shifting. So that's what gives me hope.
Now, this is a big report that touches on a lot more than I was able to get into here today. It's worth a read for anyone who's interested in the Northwest's energy future, and we've got a link up to the full report right now on kgw.com. I'll also be taking a closer look at some of these topics tonight at 6 o'clock on The Story. Ashley?
All right, Cale, thank you. Hey.